a mortgage payment. Forget about the down payment. Forget about the closing costs. Forget about the credit score. Forget about all those barriers that shut you out of the housing market. So that's what NACA is known for. But the reason this man was invited here is because he's been a champion of the NACA program for decades. And I didn't think I could do a chapel service with Dr. Price without having Reverend Hagler here. So thank you.
Reverend Hagler?
Yes. Thank you, Cedric. Thank you, Dr. Price. One of the things it says in Micah chapter 4, verse 4, out of a union, hotel union, when somebody said at the hotel union meeting, I need to have a way to buy a house. Doesn't matter what raise you get me in the union contract. I'm being forced out of my neighborhood because the rents go up every year. And at that point, we started negotiation around a housing trust fund. And we won it so that every union member was able to get a gift from the union when they purchased a house of $10,000. That was back in the 80s. But what we found out was because we had made news, we had started hearing from people in the community, elderly, black, Latino, that had bought their homes and took out a mortgage, a second mortgage, in order to help a family member out. And that company put an interest rate against them that they could not pay back. And so I went into home after home after home of people who had paid for their homes and were now renting in the homes that they had paid for. Wow. That's a racial justice issue. That was an economic issue. So we went after the banks that were holding those mortgages. And people said, you can't win by doing direct action. And we said that the issue was so crucial that we had to fight the battle. And so we took on Fleet Financial Corporation in those days, which held most of the loans of the people we were dealing with. And it was a crude and rude fight. 5 years. We hounded the CEO where he lived. We found out where his mama lived. We found out where his children went to school. And we confronted him and confronted him and confronted him until we finally won. And he said to us, I don't like you. I don't agree with your tactics. But we're going to put on the table enough money so that you can hang yourself. And so we began to offer home mortgages. Not in the way that the banks were doing it, because the banks were ripping off people. We were saying, no, we want to do home mortgage below market in terms of the interest rate. We wanted to do it with people who didn't have great credit. We wanted to do it and move people into their homes because everybody is going to pay rent again. That's the reality. Is somebody else you're giving money to so that they can get rich or buy the property that you're living in. You're paying somebody to live in the property, yes, but you're paying them to get equity in the property. Y'all know that word equity? Y'all know that word equity, what it means? Somebody raise their hand. Somebody tell me what equity means. Anybody?
Reverend Hagler, I think you have a hand back there.
Go ahead. Talk loudly. That's a good point. Yeah, that's another word for it. But it's we'll owe $100,000 on it. But it's worth in the market $200,000. So how much equity would I have? Anybody? $100,000. That's the issue in terms of purchase. So we're saying that when you graduate, you're going out into the work world. You're going out, you're going to earn a paycheck, and you're going to have to pay to live somewhere. Why would you live